too much like Diane Keaton in this sweater right now? I don't think so. Just the right amount of Diane Keaton. Hello everybody, welcome back and happy December! I hope you all had a lovely month of November. I am so happy that it is December, you know, for obvious reasons. We got Christmas, and it's my birthday in December as well. So before I jump headfirst into December and go into full-blown Christmas mode, I wanted to sit down and film this November favorites video because I found a bunch of things that I really loved this month. I've got some books, some music, some beauty, some skincare. November was a really great month for me for many reasons, but one of my favorite highlights from the month was my puppy Cooper's birthday. It was his 4th birthday on November 1st. We threw him a little party. I made him pupcakes. They were apple and peanut butter pupcakes with cream cheese and peanut butter frosting, and then I decorated the tops of them with dog treats and dog kibble, and they were a huge success. He really liked them. So Cooper's birthday was definitely a highlight for the month for me. But also in the month of November, I found a bunch of things that I really loved that I thought would be worth sharing with you today in this November favorites video. So I think I'm first going to talk about skincare. There were 2 new additions to my skincare routine this month. Now I'm going to start this off with a bit of a disclaimer. Both of these items are a bit pricey and they have been on my wish list for a while. Sephora do a sale every 6 months, so twice a year there is an either 15 or 20% off sale. The first item that I picked up at Sephora is this Drunk Elephant TLC from Booze Glycolic Night Serum, and it is an AHA-BHA blend. So what this claims to do is, it says it refines and retexturizes. A high-tech AHA-BHA gel that resurfaces dull, congested skin by gently lifting away dead skin cells, dramatically improving the appearance of texture, uneven tone, fine lines, wrinkles, and pores. The results are greater luminosity, clarity, practically overnight. I have to say that this serum delivers on pretty much all of those claims. So I have been in a battle with my skin for the past 6 years or so. I've gone through phases where my skin's been quite good, and then I've gone through phases where it's been breaking out for a couple of months at a time. So that has just kind of left me with a bit of uneven texture and some acne scars. I've been looking for a skincare product to help with the texture of my skin and to help fade acne scars, and I have to say that this has done wonders for my skin. So while this did really help with kind of the radiance and the glowiness and the overall texture of my skin, it didn't really help too much with the blemishes. So I have continued to use this. I use this every other night, just simply because it is a more pricey skincare product, so I'm trying to spread it out as best as I can. But I found that the next product that I'm about to talk about really helped with my blemishes. The Sunday Riley UFO Ultra Clarifying Face Oil. So this is a 1.5% salicylic acid treatment that is suspended in an oil form. And I have never seen an acne product in this form before. I have been using this every night and every morning for pretty much all of November, and not only has it helped heal any breakouts that I had when I got the product, but it has completely prevented any more breakouts from happening. The last thing in the beauty skincare category that I want to talk about is this Sage Coconut Kiss Exfoliating Coffee Body Scrub. So funny story before I get into this. For about a year, or probably over a year, I thought that this company was pronounced Sage. I have no idea why. The only thing I can think of that made me think that is above the E in their name, there's a little mark above their logo, above the E. I don't know if I maybe thought it was like a little accent aigu, so I thought it was Sage. I have no idea. So whatever you want to call it, Sage or Sage, this coffee body scrub is amazing. I have been eyeing this up in the store for a while, and I'm so happy I picked it up this month. It is just, I mean, coffee. Everybody loves the smell of coffee, but it's got some coconut mixed in there, and if I am to get a coffee, I get an iced coffee with coconut milk. So this just smells like the perfect coffee order for me. They say to only use it 2 to 3 times a week, but I pretty much use it every time I shower. So there's a lot of really nourishing ingredients in there as well. So while you are exfoliated, you are left with moisturized skin as well. It has just made my showers smell absolutely wonderful. Okay, the next category of things that I want to talk about are books. So I believe it was in September, I uploaded a fall book haul / reading list where I talked about all of the books that I planned on reading over the fall and winter months. And both of the books that I am about to talk about were not in that book haul. There's just something about walking around a bookstore and flipping through books that I just find so enjoyable and so relaxing. I'm pretty sure there's a word for people who like to buy books, but they don't actually read them. I'm definitely one of those people. But both of these books I did actually read. The first one that I want to talk about that I picked up this month is The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. Now, I'm sure that you've heard of her first book, Milk and Honey. I absolutely loved that book. I read it over the summer and I just devoured it in one sitting. So when I picked up The Sun and Her Flowers, I told myself that I was going to pace myself and I wasn't going to read it all at once, just so I could really enjoy every word, but I couldn't help myself. The back of this book says, "This is the recipe of life," said my mother as she held me in her arms as I wept. "Think of those flowers you plant in the garden each year. They will teach you that people too must wilt, fall, root, rise in order to bloom." Oh, I just loved the structure of this book and I loved how each poem within each chapter really told a story. This book is just full of really beautiful and really powerful poems. The second book that I read this month that I wanted to talk about is Love Her Wild by Atticus. And this was actually on the same table that The Sun and Her Flowers was on, and I recognized the name Atticus. I've seen his poetry on Instagram, which I think is kind of where he got started. I've seen it on Instagram, I've seen it on Pinterest, I've seen it on Tumblr. So I opened up the book and there were a couple of poems that caught my eye, so I decided to pick it up, and I'm really happy that I did. There are some really beautiful photographs in this book that accompany the poems really well, and yeah, I guess poetry in general has been a favorite of mine this past month. Okay, up next is music. I feel like there has been so much new music that has come out this fall, especially in November. I'm going to try to go through them as quickly as possible so this video isn't 2 hours long. The first one is The Thrill of It All by Sam Smith. So I loved his single Too Good at Goodbyes when it came out, and then I saw his performance on SNL, and immediately after I listened to the album and I was just blown away. This man's voice is just out of this world. I really love, like I said, Too Good at Goodbyes. I love One Last Song. I think that song is so fun. I love sad songs that sound like they're happy, so if you aren't listening to the lyrics, you would think it's a happy song. Midnight Train. I love Baby You Make Me Crazy. I love Palace. I love Nothing Left for You. I pretty much love the whole album. There's almost a choir in every song. So Sam Smith has been an absolute love for me this month. Okay, the final album that I have been loving this month, which I'm sure is no surprise, is Reputation by Taylor Swift. I pre-ordered this album on iTunes so that I would be able to listen to it when it came out at midnight on November 10th. And I stayed up way too late listening to the album over and over again, and I am just so pleased with this album. I honestly didn't know how she was going to be able to top 1989, but she totally has. She just seems so powerful and in control and confident, and she seems happy. I don't know who Joe Alwyn is. I don't know much about him, but I know that I need to find me a Joe Alwyn because he just seems like the most wonderful man that has ever existed. I do feel like I need to find the love of my life to be able to relate to all of the love songs on this album though. This has been on repeat non-stop. I have made my mom listen to it. He was running after us, I was screaming, go, go, go. The three of us, honey, it's a sideshow. And a circus ain't a love story. And now we're both sorry. We're both sorry. I have made my friends who don't like Taylor Swift listen to it. But we were dancing. Dancing with our hands down, yeah, we were dancing. Like it was the first time, yeah, we were dancing. If I had to pick my favorites, I love New Year's Day. I think it's just such a beautiful way to end the album. I love Call It What You Want. I covered that song this month as well. I love Dancing with Our Hands Tied, Delicate, I Did Something Bad, and Endgame. Those would be my favorites. I mean, I love them all, but if I had to pick my favorites, those would be my favorites. I have one TV favorite, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be in everybody's November favorites, but it is Stranger Things 2. Now, I know I am the biggest wimp, but this show still scares me. I don't think that it's actually that it's scary necessarily. I think it's more the suspense when a character is walking down a hallway or going into a room where you know something bad's about to happen or that something's about to jump out and you're screaming at them not to go down the hallway, but they go down the hallway anyway. And it's in those moments where I have the blanket pulled right up to my eyes where I can barely see because I'm terrified, but it's just so good that I can't not watch. This show is stressful. So Stranger Things has been a total favorite. I loved this season. I feel like I liked it better than the first season. I'm not gonna ramble on too much about Stranger Things. I'm sure everybody has watched it, but that was pretty much all of the TV that I watched this month. I haven't really watched anything else. There weren't any movies that I really liked. Yeah, pretty much just Stranger Things. Okay, I think that is it. Those are all of the things that I've been loving in the month of November. It is starting to get dark outside, so that means I've been talking for way too long. I hope you have a wonderful month of December, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!